coming at you live from the Pacific
We are
time zone.
live. Hey, Drew.
Yes.
We
Hey,
are
how's it?
live.
Awesome.
How you
Yes,
doing?
I'm doing great. I can't complain.
All
How are
right.
you doing today?
Same for me. So we are live on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. And today it's going to be a pretty chill stream. It's you and
Hey,
me and the fans.
nice. I'm all about being chill. You know
Yeah.
how chill I am. Yeah.
um, yeah. So Drew, let's talk about, what do you do for Nucamp?
I actually wear many hats, but the main hat that I wear is the advisor hat. So usually,
That's the one you have right now, right?
exactly. So prospective students. So right now, this is the advisor hat that you guys are looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually, when you try to contact us, we're usually the first point of contact. So any questions, inquiries, or issues that you have before you actually join the bootcamp, you're going to be speaking to me, Francesca, or Miles. So,
That's right. All right.
mhm.
And we have Irene with us here. Hey, Irene. Good to
Hey,
see you online.
so
We have
Irene.
Irene. Irene is working behind the scenes with
Yes.
instructors.
Yep.
And we have, as many people know, we have a fantastic community of instructors. And
Hmm.
a lot of that is thanks to Irene for making sure that, they are assigned the right classes that they are skilled in.
Yep.
Um, so yeah, I mean, without Irene, a lot will not happen.
Hey, what's up, Joseph?
Oh, you know
Wait.
Joseph?
Yeah, I call him Kuya Joe because he's like my big brother. But
Oh,
yo, what's up,
cool.
Joseph?
All right. So here's the deal for this stream.
Okay.
We're not gonna. I mean, we're working together. This is all about the people joining this stream having any
Hmm.
questions for us, and we
Please.
right open house, meaning come as you please. Ask any question that you may have for us.
Hmm.
Serenity, if you have any question, we'll be looking forward to answering you. Um,
Serenity.
I may actually spill the beans if I'm asked about something we have actually in the works.
Already?
We've done some teasing about it. Only if I'm asked, only if I'm
Okay.
pushed. Like
Ask
I'm
him.
not,
Ask him.
yeah. So I may say a few things.
Okay.
One of the reasons why we're doing this open house is because we have something going on right now, which is an early bird deadline. And
Hmm.
so I want to share my screen. They've changed things around here. No, there we go. Let me share my screen. There you go. That's the screen I want to share. Let's have a look. So here's the thing. On Oh, and who's the LinkedIn user from France? I would like to
Hey,
know.
nice. In English, even.
Yeah. Hello, Ludovic from France. Is that another Ludovic from France, or is that me from France? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll
You
see.
said your
Yeah,
full
tell me
name,
who that
so
is because we don't see your name. We only see LinkedIn user, which is kind of too bad for the software we're using. Hey, Zuhir, looking
yeah,
forward to having
excited.
you on the third. And so, oh, and Mika is here as well.
Hey, Mikal. Is it
Yeah,
Mikal or Michael?
Michael.
Um.
It's probably Michael. You're right.
Okay, cool. Hey, Michael. What's up, man?
So here's the thing. So we have that thing happening every 5 weeks before our bootcamp starts.
Hmm.
We have a kind of a embedded discount, if you want. Like whenever you register 2 weeks before the start of your bootcamp,
Hmm.
you get what we call the early bird discount. So that price here that you see, that's the early bird price. And let me show you what's going on. So if you want to start on the 10th for the Python bootcamp, you're gonna, oh, that's funky. What's happening here? Let me close this. Let me do it again. There you go. So you'll see that up until September 26th, which is this Saturday, no, sorry,
Hmm.
this Monday, which is why we're gonna have answer any question you may have. So you have until the 26th, this Monday, midnight central, to register at that price, 19.25. If you want to register for October 10th, but if you do that on Tuesday, the 24th, then you're going to be paying that price, $2,300, which is kind of too bad. You don't want to do that. So you
Hmm.
want to register pretty much before Monday, or if it's after Monday, you know what you're going to do? You're just going to register for the next one. And the next one, the early bird, is up until October 31st. So that's kind of the deal. Every 5 weeks, you can register at the lower tuition rate.
Mhm.
And the reason we do that is because then we really have 2 weeks to figure out how many instructors we need, and talk to those instructors saying, hey, are you available? Do you want to teach that class? So it gives us really that time window to get organized.
Mhm.
Oh, so I was saying that I was gonna check this
Oh,
out.
oh, I'm so close.
Alan, is your new announcement related to cloud computing? Maybe it is. I'm
I don't
not
know.
gonna spill the beans
I,
just yet.
yeah, I don't
Right?
know.
I'm gonna wait maybe until the middle of the stream. So
Yeah,
we're just like what? How many minutes are we in? Like 5 minutes? That'll be too
yeah,
early, right?
yeah. Wait until we get to the meat and potatoes of the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Okay. So.
Um, oh, that one speaks to me big time. I am from Tacoma, Washington,
Mhm.
and looking to join the program. Which one would you recommend for a path for AWS? Well, first, here's the story about Tacoma, Washington, and why it's so close to my heart. This is where everything started 5 years ago. And as you actually know, we just celebrated the 5-year anniversary of Nucamp. 5 years. We were not incorporated 5 years ago. The LLC was formed on
Mhm.
September 22nd, I think. Let me check actually. We had something. We celebrated that on LinkedIn recently. Let me see if we can still see it.
Yeah, no, for sure. You can find
Yeah. Where will that be? Oh, here we are. I see ourselves. That's funky. Content.
it. My face is all big. I think I should zoom out a little bit. Hold up.
All right, hold on. There we go. There we go. Let me share the screen again. Yeah, so we celebrated that on LinkedIn. We made a post on Instagram as well. 5th-year anniversary. Nucamp started in September. And so here's the connection back to Tacoma is I started Nucamp traveling every Saturday morning from Seattle to Tacoma to teach the first class of like 12 people.
Wow.
Some of them actually are working for Nucamp now. Like, hey, Aaron, if you see us, Aaron is still working with us. Paul was with us for a long time as well, decided to move on. But yeah, I mean, I spent all my Saturday mornings for about a year down in Tacoma. Our first graduation was held in Tacoma. So it was really a very special thing for us. But to answer your question, I think to go over AWS, the Python actually bootcamp will probably be best because that's where we introduce AWS. The last module, the DevOps module, talks about AWS. And Irene remembers Tacoma as well, T-Town.
Hey. T Town. I never heard of that, but
Me
I'm gonna
neither.
start using that. So
Yeah,
thanks,
but
Irene.
yeah, hey, check out the Python bootcamp, which is great because the early bird again is ending on Monday, so you can just register for the start October 10th. Where are you from, Drew? If you don't mind me asking, which city are you
Oh,
from?
I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh yeah,
But
that's right. Yeah, were
born
you
and raised on Guam, though.
born and raised
No,
in Vegas or no?
no, I was born and raised on Guam, Guam,
Oh
USA. It's a territory. It's not a state, but
yeah,
yeah, that's where I was
that's
born and
right.
raised.
And we have Abdul Wahab from Saudi Arabia. Isn't it crazy and exciting? Super excited to have you join us as well. Yeah, we started to see a few folks from international countries, Middle East,
Mhm.
Europe, South America. That's
All
extremely
over.
exciting to us. The good news when you're in Saudi Arabia, for example, is you're going to join the Saturday workshop. It's going to be mid-afternoon for you. If you pick the Eastern region, it should be around like 3 or 4 p.m. in the
Oh,
afternoon for
nice.
Saudi Arabia. So that's pretty good.
Mhm.
Oh, Michael wants to know what starts with a C and ends with a D. We're gonna get to that.
That's That's two. That's the second question, Ludo.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
what's
we're
your
gonna get to
threshold?
that. We're gonna get to that.
What's
I'll
your
spill some
threshold?
beans. Yeah. um, so I this is really the stream where Drew and I we're just waiting to answer your questions, and we're gonna
Mhm.
answer that one. But if you have any question about Nucamp or really outside of Nucamp as well,
Yeah.
um,
Oh yeah,
and
Jesse.
yeah, we'll talk about that. And yeah, so we're gonna answer all those questions. So come at us with those. If you want to have fun, you can also join. There's a link, url.nucamp.co/dialin,
Hmm.
and you'll actually be joining Drew and I on live video. I mean, camera on, microphone on, and all that. And so hunches are is currently a full stack student with Nucamp and enjoying the curriculum. Awesome.
Nice.
People often ask me what the goal of my studies is, and I've had trouble answering this. Can you give an overview of some care? Well, usually people who join Nucamp and attend Nucamp, their goal of their studies is to find a job in tech.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting, Justin, to hear from you. Is that your goal? Like, is that what you want to do? But oftentimes people will want to change careers, get a new job, and so they'll learn the skills before, obviously, to make that transition.
Hmm. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, from all over the world. Oh yeah, that's my cat. One of two.
that,
That's magic. Um,
that's how I know that there was a glitch in the matrix.
yeah, that's right.
'Cause she always walks by.
It's gonna come across again. Yeah. Um, that's interesting, Krista. I would love to know. I mean, sure, which parts of the world? I know we've getting. I think we're
Yeah.
getting like 2 or 3% of our students are from international countries, not the US. But I'll be
Uh-huh.
curious. Uh, Especially,
That's
I'd
awesome.
like to know if someone in Asia is joining because that's in the middle of the night for the Saturday session. For
Yeah, it
I
is.
love to
But
know that.
there is Ludo. There
Yeah,
is.
I've heard,
There
right?
are
I've heard
students
that.
from like China, Japan. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Mhm.
crazy. Um, Houston, Texas. Hey, Jose.
Hey.
Good to have you here.
Hello, Jose.
One thing I want to share with folks as well. Well, let me ask you this, Drew. What do you think we should be talking about? Is there any big topic that folks are asking you as you talk to them on the phone or over email?
Well, I mean, other than what begins with a letter C and ends with a letter D,
Yeah.
you always have prospective students asking what path they should take, where they should start, where they should end. Also the financing options that we offer, our scholarships. But at the very top of the list is always going to be, um, you know, where do I begin?
Oh,
This
it's
is
great.
yeah. So
Yeah.
brand new and
Let's actually go over that. And so I'm going to go over that, and then we're going to get into the C and the D thing.
yeah.
How
Shoot,
about
go
that?
for
All right, let's do it.
it.
So here's what I will say to someone who wonders, where to start.
Mhm.
Take a look at our boot camps and actually check out the complete software engineering bootcamp path, because it is truly a path where we actually guide you through, what to take next. And so that path right now, so if you scroll down, we tell you all about it.
Mhm.
That path right now, if you do register here, right? So it's going to say, hey, register for the web development fundamentals first. And that's going to always be the answer, right? If you really don't know what to do, how to start with this one. It's going to cost you, well, this one is $498 because we are past the early bird tuition. But if you go to the next one, actually, let me do that. If you go to the next one, so there you go. If you grab this one. So starting in November for this one. So you'll start with the Web Development Fundamentals Bootcamp.
Mhm.
458. It's not a big commitment. It's 4 weeks. It's really going to help you figure out, okay, do I like coding? Do I like Nucamp? Is that really for me? Do I want to continue? And there's a bunch of questions here. We'll get to that. And then once you do that, assuming you go through those steps, the next step is we ask you to choose your own path, and we actually give you some insights into where should you go first next. So if you have no experience with data structures, with algorithms, meaning if you have no experience whatsoever with programming at all, we're going to recommend that you take the backend with Python first. And that's because the first 5 weeks is all about teaching you the fundamentals of programming, the fundamentals of data structure and algorithms. So you'll do that. But if you have some knowledge of programming before, if you've kind of self-studied for about a year or 6 months before that, the best next step is actually full stack, because what it does then is, with the web development fundamentals bootcamp, you really start. That's the front end thing. That's really HTML, CSS, JavaScript. It is front end, and so then you can continue on front end by doing the full stack, where you're going to do Bootstrap, React, etc., etc. And then you'll actually complete with a back end experience. But we have really those two options, because at the end of the day, they're really interchangeable. You can start with web dev, then go deep into programming backend, and then go back up into front end full stack, and that kind of works. All right. So, and here's the other thing for that complete software engineering bootcamp. You register when you want to register to those 4 bootcamps. So you can register at once, or you can register, near the end of your previous bootcamp, or you can try to finance it. So you see, it's $5,000 something. If you go through Ascent or Climb, they're going to give you a nice bundle package price. You're going to pay a little in fees, but it's pretty decent. I think maybe you're going to pay $500 to $700 more by financing it, and then you can pay over 24 months, 48 months, and it's not going to be too much on a monthly basis. So that's that. Well, let me back up on all the questions that we had, and then
is there a whole bunch?
Yeah, I see that. Jeez. All right. Hey, do you want to take a stab at answering that first question, Drew?
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Zuhair, the Python bootcamp is not going to be the same as, or no, the Python bootcamp is the exact same as the backend bootcamp. I think what you're doing is you're probably confusing the full stack with the backend bootcamp, because the full stack is, actually the front end bootcamp that we offer is primarily HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is actually a subset of the full stack bootcamp. So it does come with the addition of 4 extra weeks to learn backend server-side programming, but it's focused primarily on the JavaScript programming language. The backend with Python is going to be nothing but the backend, and specifically focused on using the Python programming language. So,
that's right. Yeah.
Hopefully,
it's tough.
It's one of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
Because,
And the thing about the backend bootcamp is it's Python centric, but it's also adding SQL, DevOps, cloud with Google, Azure, AWS, and all that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Well, it's weird that the sentences are cut off. I don't know if it's something that YouTube does, but I got your point. So we have for a few things. And let's do that. So if you register to the front end, the full stack, or the backend with Python bootcamp, you have quote unquote free of charge a list of 6 services. And let me actually go there. I think there's a nice view of, no, it's here. There you go. You are assigned a career coach. You can schedule a 30-minute conversation with your career coach. I think you have 4 sessions included in that free career assistance package. Our career coaches are the same as instructors. They're part-time in the industry. They're employed, they're part-time with us, full-time in the industry. We have Gani, we have Stephanie. People really usually love having a conversation with them to look after their resume, their LinkedIn profile. So all that good stuff. So you have that. You have a dedicated one-on-one career coach that you can schedule time with. You're going to have access to our 4-week career development course, and I'll get back to that. So you have access to the content, not the instructor that comes along with it. So you have the content. You can actually go through the content at your own pace. That's the work with the career coach. We have a job board, so we push on our Slack channels job opportunities that employers with whom we have partnerships or we're just finding our board are publishing. What's really great about that job board is those positions that are advertised there, the employer knows precisely that they want to hire Nucamp graduates. So they're extremely, I would say, qualified. Like, it's not a random job posting that you will find on Indeed or LinkedIn. Employers have to actually type with their little hands the job description, knowing fully that they're going to get Nucamp graduates, right? And so whenever we post one of those, you want to jump on it because they're just waiting for the Nucamp graduate on the other hand.
Exactly.
So extremely qualified. We have LinkedIn Premium, so we kind of pay your LinkedIn Premium membership for a full month. What that does is it gives you access to the LinkedIn package optimized for job seekers.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's another thing. And then you have full-time access to everything that we have to offer. So that's when you register to front-end, full stack, back-end, and it's kind of part of the package. We're not done yet. What we've just launched, and we're actually having the first delivery this week, is the job hunting bootcamp, which is it's a 4 weeks bootcamp, meaning you are with a class of 15 students with a dedicated instructor. You have to work every day at it. You have a Saturday workshop, and there you do, code challenges. I mean, you're going to do the algorithm test, the hacker ranks, the lead code. You're going to do mock interviews. You are going to review your LinkedIn. So this really is kind of in addition to what I showed you before. And that's really taking you, I would say, by the hand, making sure that you are really set up to find your job. So 4 weeks, again, super affordable price as well.
And this is open to any bootcamp graduate, right? Not just
That's
graduates
right,
from Nucamp.
No, it's a great point, Drew. I forgot to mention that. You don't have to be a Nucamp student or graduate to register to this one. So if you are, if you were a bootcamp student and you're not too happy with the career services they are offering you, you can join that. If you are a computer science graduate and you had no career services whatsoever, you can join that as well. The deal is we don't teach you to code during this one, right? We expect you to know how to code already. Yep. We're not going to teach you, programming. So
yeah, and I have a feeling Brad's going to kill it, man.
Yeah.
Brad's going to kill it.
Brad is our first instructor.
Oh.
All right. What do you think, Drew, on this question? Prereqs to start taking a look at Python.
Well, we don't offer a fundamentals bootcamp for Python, but if you actually go to our website, the prereqs are simple. You just, we require you to at least, be comfortable with your computer. It is beginner friendly during the first section. But it does build up in intensity. So we do recommend that you at least have some type of coding or programming experience, whether or not that be like, the basics of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But there are a lot of resources, like free resources, that you could utilize to just at least just touch the tip of the iceberg as far as the basics with Python.
Yeah.
but you will learn that during the first week. But it does build up in intensity. So, I mean, at least me. Like,
Yeah,
what
no,
do you think,
totally.
Luda?
I mean, you're spot on. It is beginner friendly, so there's no real prerequisites except
Hmm.
knowing how to use a computer, pretty much.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, but it never hurts to do tutorials online first, right? I mean, just
Yes.
look up you know Python basic tutorial and just go through that. Like, get acquainted with it first before joining anything. um but yes, there's nothing required before you start taking a look at Python. You
Hmm.
just go for it.
Thank you for your question, CT De Castro. Okay, we got
Oh,
me in.
see, so yeah, you can't actually show the full question here. I see it on the
Oh,
side. That's too bad. um so
here, let me
All right.
open up
Currently
another
enrolled in
window.
the Python Bootcamp and love it. Great. Completed a full stack as well. Awesome. But took a break. Currently work as a sysadmin IT manager. And I can read the remaining of the question. And wanting to know if the Python Bootcamp is a good logical step to get into a DevOps role, or if there should be other steps to take before that. No, I think it's the perfect step.
Yeah.
Because you're really gonna end. I mean, the last 6 weeks, I would say, between the end of SQL and the beginning of the DevOps module is all about DevOps. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's a perfect way to actually do that. There's something really interesting that just happened before we went live. I don't know if you saw that on Slack, Drew.
What happened?
In the general channel, we can't really share too much, but
Okay.
in the general channel, we have Tyler, who just
Oh
announced
yeah.
that, yeah, he got a job.
Yes.
He got a job before graduating the backend
Bootcamp.
bootcamp. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Congrats,
pretty cool.
Tyler. Shout
Yeah.
out. Shout outs, man.
Hey, Abdul Wahab, great to see you. If you want to join, so I see you're waiting in the waiting room here. If you want to join us on live, just switch on your camera and your mic so that I can see you, and then I'll bring you on.
Awesome.
All right, Danny has a question here. Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
A
I can't say
program
that.
for, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I can't say that we do, but just like Ludo was uh, sharing earlier, it pretty much doesn't necessarily matter which bootcamp. As far as I'm talking about, like in terms of the more intermediate and advanced bootcamps that we offer, a lot of that stuff carries over. Um, Obviously, Arduino and Raspberry Pi is very Linux centric, and and when you become a more competent developer, or even prior to that, if you have strong Linux skills, then this should be, it's something that's very possible. But um, as far as us having a program that's very Linux centric, unfortunately, we do not. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Um, but that sounds so cool.
It
Virtually,
is.
virtually
Yeah.
location filmmaking application. Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd love to learn more about that. And using Arduino and Raspberry Pi,
Yeah.
that's pretty niche and cool to see.
It is. It
Uh,
is.
Thanks for the testimonial, Krista. Um, yeah, complete software path. I can't remember if you
Awesome.
started with full stack or if you started with Python. I'm guessing probably the back end, and then you're going to do
Yeah.
full stack after that. Can't remember. I think you said something about this, but all right. What kind of algorithms do you touch on? Do you teach? Well, we start at the very basic, you
Yep.
know, if I mean conditions, loops, switches, functions, the very basic of programming, and then we go into bubble sort. We touch on. Oh, I'm gonna blink on the meaning
Ludo,
of it.
Ludo,
Yeah.
Ludo. Here's a hint. The big.
Oh, big O notation. There you go. That's right. Yes, yes, yes. That's what I had in mind. So we touch on all that as well. Yeah.
And more. And more.
Yes. Oh, what do you?
Is frontend
What's our
bootcamp a
answer,
part of
Zuhair?
the? Yes. Yeah. Zuhair. Yes. Absolutely. Like I mentioned earlier, the front end bootcamp is actually a subset of the full stack. So everything that's already in the front end bootcamp is part of the full stack bootcamp with the addition of 4 extra weeks to work with like Node.js, Express. So you get to work with the backend as well, but it's specifically going to be for the JavaScript programming language.
That's
But
right.
absolutely, it is a part of it. Yep.
We teach REST APIs. I think actually we
Mhm.
touch REST APIs on both bootcamps, the full stack as well as the backend with Python. I don't know that we don't touch. I think on Fast API. I actually don't really know what that is, to be honest with you.
Not
Fast API,
yet.
what
No, I'm
is?
just kidding.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, let's look it up. What is Fast API?
Check it out.
Fast API. Do we? Oh, geez, I don't
Oh,
know
with
if I may. Yes,
Python.
it's Python. So maybe we do actually.
Yeah.
Maybe we teach. Actually, I will have to look into that.
Yeah.
It's implementing REST API using Python.
That's
Yeah.
what it looks like. Yeah. Python
We
3.7.
teach
And
that.
so that's not even the updated
Yeah.
version.
Any
But yeah.
student in the Python bootcamp, tell me if we're actually teaching Fast API. I don't know. I'll have to check. Uh, the power of Googling. You always
I know,
hear,
yeah.
you know, you always hear, okay, what's the number one lesson you've learned at your bootcamp? Google it. That's pretty much what you've learned. And it's so freaking true. That's the thing you're always going to have to do is Google it.
Yep.
I had someone tell me a really funny story recently. He's a intermediate dev, I would say. He's not junior, he's not senior just yet.
Nice.
Um, but the company he works at just merged with another company, and that other
Mergers.
company has a senior dev on staff, and he's really senior, really nice guy as well. And he was telling me that moment where he has a question for the senior guy,
Hmm.
and the senior guy is like, okay, hey, let's jump on the call. So he jumps on the call, and what the senior guy does is, so let me show you how you will actually query that on Google. So it was like, the guy was so nice. He was just getting on a Zoom call to tell me how to Google stuff, but not upset.
No,
Not
why,
upset. Just
how could you be? Like
yeah,
he's teaching you a valuable skill.
exactly. But it's a great question. This is
It
how
is.
you could Google it.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was a lonely moment, I think.
And that's a senior dev that's
That's a
teaching
senior
an
dev
inter. Yeah,
being pretty nice, pretty
I
nice.
believe
Others
it.
may
I
actually
believe
have
it.
handled that differently.
I believe it.
Oh, that's a great question. What are the office hours for teachers for times when we get stuck? It's going to vary teacher by teacher.
Mhm.
That's going to be when they're available. Sometimes they're going to do a pulse with their class saying, "Hey, when are you guys available?" Um, because our teachers are part-time with us, full-time in the industry, and
Mhm.
it's going to depend on whenever they actually want to do it, can do it. So there's no set time. It's going to be a conversation with your teacher. But more and more our teachers are actually scheduling those office hours, obviously.
Mhm.
When you get stuck, though, you don't just have your instructor or your teacher to help.
Exactly.
You have your peers, you have other students who went through that before, you have the full Slack community. Sometimes you
Exactly.
actually see a teacher from another cohort helping
Hmm.
you out.
Helping you
So,
out. Yep.
yeah, you're never out of resources to be helped.
When you get lost or stuck.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Drew, you want to take that one on?
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
yeah.
What would you like to know, Abdul? Um, Basically, the live Saturday workshops always go from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in each respective time zone. So we serve them on, obviously all U.S. time zones, but Eastern, Central, and Pacific. Um, the maybe the first 30 to 45 minutes is going to just kind of refresh and go over the material that you just went through, like the pre-recorded video lectures, the coding challenges and exercises, and the self-evaluating quiz prior to the workshop. And then what's going to happen is you guys are going to be broken up into groups, and then you're going to be put into breakout rooms, and then your instructor will periodically, visit those breakout rooms as you and your classmates. Well, you can kind of look at them as like teammates because you're basically, going to be pair programming and solving the problems together. He'll be helping you out or she'll be helping you out, and then towards the end, you guys go back to the main room, and then or sometimes if you finish early, they'll give you like an additional challenge. It's optional. You're not going to be graded on it, but for example, if you finish quickly, then you'll get some extra brain teasers to kind of keep you on your toes. So
Yeah. And that assignment, that's really that's the pinnacle, I will say, of what you're doing, what you're working on during the
yep,
week. It's what gets graded as well. So you're very much encouraged to attend those Saturday sessions. Sometimes you're going to have to
exactly.
miss one because life happens.
Mhm.
But even if you miss a Saturday session, you have to submit your assignment, and it needs to be graded. And you have
Absolutely.
to have a minimum of 6 out of 10 on
Mhm.
every assignment in order to graduate. So it's pretty hardcore from that standpoint. Thank you for helping with the answer, Krista. I really, really appreciate.
And Krista, thank you,
Yeah,
Krista.
Alan, very interested in job hunting bootcamp. Well, you can register the next one.
Yeah,
When is the next one? Let me actually check that
Sep-
out.
I think it's September. Or wait,
We
no,
just,
beyond
no,
September.
October 24th.
Yep.
October 24th is when the next job hunting bootcamp starts. And it's going to last 4 weeks. And it's about, how much does it cost? $458 for 4 weeks.
Mhm.
And the instructor, I mean, think about that. The instructor is giving pretty much 10 hours worth of engagement per
Mhm.
week. So for $500, you have 40 hours of instructor time, which hourly rate is pretty phenomenal. Just saying.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah, no, and I concur. I concur, Luda.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Fast API is great, apparently. I should look into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm thinking the equivalent for Node.js is Express. I'm guessing really Fast API is probably the equivalent of Express for
The
JavaScript.
job, the JavaScript version.
I think
Yeah.
so. Kyle is asking, how difficult is it to get a job with only front-end skills, considering doing backend based on the job descriptions I'm seeing? There's no straightforward answer, right, on this
Mhm.
one. I would say, getting a job is challenging, period.
It's on.
Um, the answer to your question is going to be also, where do you live? Which companies hire around you? Because we went into that in the previous I think actually last week we've talked about that.
Mhm.
Um, you're going to have better luck finding a job if you actually can apply to local companies that are hiring locally. The ability to meet with your hiring manager in person can make a big difference, right? If you submit your resume and they see that you live 10 blocks away compared to all the other applicants that live 100 miles away or 1,000
Mhm.
miles away, it's going to be a big difference. So I will just say, first, look up around you who's hiring for just front-end engineers. And if you have plenty of opportunities locally, then you're fine. Front-end is going to work. If you don't have that many, then it may be helpful to expand your skill set to do that, or be an exceptionally good front-end engineer. Like,
Exceptionally good. Yep.
yeah, if you're exceptionally good at front-end, you're not going to have a ton of competition. And for me personally, exceptionally good means you really have a knack for UI. Like, what you design and what you build looks beautiful.
Mhm.
And if I go to your portfolio and I look up the code and it works, but I look up the UI and it's sleek, it's modern, it's very intuitive, it's beautiful, then you're going to stand out. And that's what you need if you really want to stand out for just front end. You really need to be able to showcase that UI quality.
Well said, Luda.
Thank you. Well, there's a question for you, Drew.
Oh, cool. My current job title is I'm currently a Nucamp advisor slash um, student admin slash workshop support. So that keeps me really busy. And how long after the boot camp did you get into your new role? Um, it wasn't um, it wasn't instantaneous. It did take a while. Obviously, I'm very thankful to Ludo and the rest of the team for taking a risk on me, which turned out to be a blessing in disguise, I guess. But yeah, everyone is gonna have, even if you follow the same path, the timing of everything is gonna vary upon each individual. Just based on the circumstances, your obligations. Also, just how much time and effort you're willing to put. And number one for me was just like I love to help people. So perfect role. I'm still trying to chase the web developer role. And I'm kind of rusty, and I will retake the boot camp since you know I'm a graduate. But yeah, thank you for your question.
Thank you, Drew. It is a blessing to have you with us.
Thank you.
Hey, how about we talk about that word?
What? Blessing?
CNG.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I almost forgot, and nobody
Good
was
idea.
asking. So that was something here at the very beginning.
Mhm.
Let me pull it. Where is it? There you go. Alan, the answer is yes. It is related to cloud computing. The word is
Secrets
cloud.
out.
The word is cloud, and what we're going to announce is something very special in that cloud computing space for front-end and for full stack. The deal is, front-end and full stack are very cloud agnostic right now. We're
Mhm.
very, very much teaching you how to run everything on your own computer, the server, the database, the emulator, and all that. And what we're going to announce is now that bootcamp is going to be cloud specific. And so it's a big partnership announcement that we're extremely excited about. And we're actually going live with it on Tuesday.
Oh.
Tuesday is
I
the
thought you were
day.
gonna do it right now. I was like, oh my god.
No. Tuesday is the day that we're going to go live with exactly what it
Okay.
is. The website will be updated and all that. But yeah, it's super exciting time. If you've already registered, you're going to just get the content. So it's new content. It's a twist on the front end and full stack. So yeah, you can register now and know that that's going to be just available to you when we announce it on the 27th.
Lucky.
How about that? Oh, look at that.
Woohoo!
Yep. Yep.
Yes.
All right, let's go back to those questions. We'd love to hear more about the DevOps, specifically AWS Azure. Is this a path of certs? Oh, yeah. It's not exactly a path for certifications because we really don't teach you to pass the certification. There's a ton of certification prep that really prepare you to all those questions. We do teach you a ton of DevOps. So I don't know. You may be able to pass a certification, but we can't really guarantee that. Yeah. So if anyone actually has tried it, and if anyone has kind of made an analysis of how well we prepare for cert, I'd love to see that. Is the cost the same for employer versus individual? Yes, 100%. And actually, if you go through your employer, the tuition rate is always the early bird, which is kind of a neat trick. So if your employer pays for it, we have an invoicing system, and they actually can create their own invoice. Let me show that actually. Hey, so if you have an employer, we can go there. They can say, hey, I want to actually enroll 2 of my employees to do the web dev plus full stack. It's quite a successful. People liked it. So yeah, let's do that. Put your work email. Well, let's say it's me. Let's say I want to 2 of my own employees. So when I do that, I can create the invoice, and there you are. So that's pretty much 2 web dev, 2 full stack, and it's the early bird rate for full stack, early bird rate for web dev. And once I pay that, either by check or credit card or wire, we're going to issue a coupon that those two students can actually use to register. So there you go. And if you're an LLC, you can actually go that route to pay the bootcamp in full, instead of a monthly payment and having an invoice, etc., etc. So that's pretty neat as well. What would you answer, Nick?
I would say, yeah, I same thing that Chris is saying, and a lot of even students and even the staff at Nucamp will recommend, just constantly practicing and applying all the stuff that you learned by building, really small projects. Freecodecamp.org is a really great resource.
Yeah.
You could, just pretty much just do the JavaScript track. There's also, there's a whole bunch of different JavaScript. There's javascript.info. There's eloquent JavaScript. It's kind of dry. Yeah, it's kind of dry, but it's free on the internet. And then also one other thing I would recommend is JavaScript. Checking your local library. I'm pretty sure, just for being a patron, there's a lot of books that are just kind of just sitting there, waiting to be checked out. But for the most part, you just want to be constantly practicing and applying all the stuff that you learned. And then, since you graduated from the fundamentals, you can actually go back to the material again and, try to do it without asking for any help, if you did prior. If you didn't, then, you're on the right track.
Yeah, very true. Krista is mentioning
exactly. Yeah.
I have a story about Dr. Chuck. So when it was like a year ago now, no more than a year ago. Jeez, time flies. When we first looked into building the backend with Python curriculum, we wondered, okay, is there any great content that we can leverage? Our forte is really to bring the instructor, bring the environment together. There's a ton of extremely good curriculum that, instead of rebuilding it, you probably want to think about, licensing it or stuff like that. And we looked into Dr. Chuck content because he's actually making that content available for everyone for free, which is amazing. But it wasn't enough. Like we looked at it and it was like, okay, we may have 5 weeks of content there, but we didn't have enough. And so we said, okay, we can't really use that content. And so we had to create our own. But yeah, when we looked at it, we really liked what Dr. Chuck was doing. Python for everyone. If anyone wants to just look into that, that's a great resource.
Oh, and also a great resource to have in your back pocket is MDN. You can't fail. You can't fail with MDN.
That's right.
And
it's more advanced than W3 School. W3 School
exactly.
is super basic, but MDN is super thorough. It's a proper developer documentation.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
Joe.
Yeah.
Joe. Got you, bro.
Yeah. Oh man, there's so many jokes about people starting Udemy courses and never finishing them.
Yeah. It's hard. I mean, because there's not a lot of support. I mean, it has their I guess default forum, like from where you view the videos, but a lot of times, like I don't want to say there's gatekeeping, but if you ask a very basic question, no one is going to want to answer you. Like it's almost like they feel like it's a waste of time for them, which kind of sucks. But yeah.
The other part about doing practice projects, the whole learning experience on a weekly basis is about making you practice on projects. And so we have what we call a learning project that every student does. And you're building up that project throughout the week. And on Saturday, that workshop that we've been talking about, that's when you actually add the master exercise, I would say, to your project.
Exactly.
And then you have your own project that we encourage you to do. We give you examples, frameworks to do that. But that's pretty much, yeah. You'll be doing a lot of practice projects, a lot of them. There's a question about MDN. Hey, let me show that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was MDN. Yep, you're right.
MDN.
Boom.
What is the Mozilla? It was created by the founders of Netscape. If anyone
Yeah,
remembers Netscape, who's
I
using
do.
Netscape as a? Yeah, you do. Me too. But if you type in, usually you rarely go to MDN direct. You do JavaScript array find, and guess what? The very first article is going to
Yeah,
be MDN.
exactly. Yep.
Second is going to be W3 School, but I always go with MDN.
Mhm.
That's the proper. And what's pretty cool as well is you can actually change their thing here. So you can do Ludo,
Yeah.
Drew, YouTube, and then find element, and you can do Thursday, Drew, and then found it.
Yeah,
You can
there you go.
actually
Wow.
sometimes you use that to just test your code because you don't
Exactly.
really have an easy way to test it even in Visual Studio, I find. So yeah, that's how you do
No,
it.
they must have just implemented that like within the past couple of years because it wasn't always like that. Like it was always
No, yeah,
just they just gave examples. You weren't able to
that's
try
right.
it.
They've done a full redesign, I think, a year ago or so.
Mhm.
I mean, it used to be great, but it's even better now. Yeah, and I didn't know what they had an MDN Plus. I don't know what that is. What's pretty cool though, not on MDN, I haven't seen that, but on W3 School is W3 Schools has a bunch of tests. Where would that be? Not the tutorials. Oh, they have a bunch of, there you go. The certificates that you see here. These are pretty interesting. We actually use that one. We ask people to, oh no, that's a certification. Yeah, that could be actually interesting. We use tests to help people figure out, okay, are you ready to join the full stack bootcamp? We
Yep.
don't use the certification.
Self-evaluation.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
right. That's right. Anyhow, Code Academy. I hear Code Academy is pretty good as well.
Mhm.
Yeah. The Odin project is another resource.
Oh, that one is straight up project based. They do not hold your hand at all.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's definitely a good resource.
There's another one which is super challenging, but so much worth it if you can. That's
Which?
Oh my god, I'm going to blink on it. No way.
No.
CS50.
Oh yeah. Okay, and that's completely free, right?
That's completely free. And CS50, that's computer
Harvard.
science coming directly from Harvard, 100% free. But it's tough. I mean, this is a thing that typically people will complete in 2 years. And most people, like always, will never finish it. But if you're looking, for a super affordable way to get a computer science degree, although you don't get a degree, but that's the real deal, right? That's Harvard giving you for free that computer science curriculum. That's huge, and yet very few people really can stay committed to that. All right. Oh my God, we only have 5 minutes left.
No.
That goes so fast.
Yeah, it does.
Cool. Portfolio project. All right. What else can we talk about, Drew? We have 5 more minutes left.
I don't know. You already did the C and the D. Yeah. You did the early bird tuition. What else do we have coming up in the pipeline?
Oh! I can say something.
Can you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We
didn't really plan for that, but it's interesting. It's going to be exciting as well. We are gonna move to Discord.
What?
You didn't know? You didn't know.
No, I didn't even hear about this, man. No
There you go.
way.
You know us. Everybody else. We are gonna move from Slack to Discord. I've
Oh
been in the middle of
man.
that. Actually, I kind of have a Discord environment ready to show. Want me to show it?
Yeah, show it, please.
All right, let's do that.
Dude, guaranteed you're gonna have all these students like playing VS Code.
Okay, let me show it. Let me show
Playing
it.
VS Code, but they're actually just playing games. That's cool, man.
All right, let me show it.
That's
You want to
pretty
show it?
nice.
You want to see it?
Yeah, let me check
So
it
there's
out.
nobody here just now. It's gonna be tricky. I mean, we're gonna really think about. Oh, cool. We're gonna think about how we do the transition.
Woo.
But there it is.
Hey,
There it is.
I'm excited.
It's already boosted, like big time. I mean, Discord is so much richer in terms of what you can do. It's just insane how rich it is.
Yes.
And yeah, it's super exciting. Slack is not going in a good direction, in my opinion. The licensing, their feature set, they're not innovating as fast as Discord is. Just, it's incredible. Honestly, I mean, I've been dabbling in that world. The good news is we're going to keep Slack, and we're going to keep paying for Slack for probably until the end of 2023, because there's such an amount of knowledge that's in our Slack right now. We don't want to. So it's still going to be available. All the archives are going to be available probably for a full year. But then at some point this year, we're going to make the flip. We're going to make the switch. And I mean, you recognize a bunch of stuff.
There it is. Yeah,
the structure is there.
There it is.
You know, you're going to be invited. You're going to join Nucamp, getting a job, groups. Yeah, I mean, all that. The classes are here.
Oh,
yeah,
you even broke them into it. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and then you have
that's only what you're gonna see, right? Like not every student is gonna see all
that. That's the thing I need to figure out. I think there's a little bit something about this that's not clear to me yet. I saw a message come through because we've already wired our bots.
Yeah.
There you go. So that's one of the bot thing, you know?
Yeah.
And so it works. Yeah. I just saw that. Like it was like a few minutes ago. So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that move. It's gonna be really fun, because you can do so much. But yeah, that's a big announcement as well. I wasn't planning to do, but
man, Ludo, thank you, man. I'm excited.
Sometime this, and we're gonna announce it formally, probably
Tuesday.
Done. Yes. Done. Yes.
Oh,
we are doing it.
So done.
Hey. We are doing it. I wasn't supposed to make an announcement, but we are transitioning from this Slack to Discord. It's going to be rough. And I was just saying we're going to keep Slack around with the full archive, etc., for about a year, like up until the end of 2023. Everybody will have access still to the archives in Slack. But then this year, we're going to move everyone to Discord because it's so much better, to be honest with you. It's less expensive for us. And the feature set is just insane. So we'll have to actually almost ping you down to see what you thought of it and what kind of bots I need to get. All right, hey, that was a big reveal. So the idea is we're gonna make an announcement probably during the month of October. Have people join, check it out. Nothing's gonna happen. We're still gonna be on Slack, and then I don't know, November, December, we'll make the switch. We'll see.
Watch, Ludo. You just watch. Like once you post the invite in the general or whatever channel, just watch.
Yeah. Yeah. What's scary is we have like 12,000 members now in Slack.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, how do you don't want to say goodbye to that?
No, obviously. Of course not.
No, of course not. 12, not all 12,000 are active. Which, by the way, if they were active, it will be a huge bill for us from Slack. Because they bill you on the number of active users, and 12,000 will be insane for us. So thank God not everyone is active, but too bad not everyone is active. And so that's one thing. And also, the archive. I mean, again, we've always paid for Slack, and so you can find threads and questions being answered back like 3 years ago. which
even
is
further, even
yeah,
further than that, I think.
yeah,
Oh no, like yeah, just
yeah. I mean,
just
I
about.
don't know. We started. I think we started to pay for it like probably 3 years ago, something like that. Yeah. So Slack is gonna still stay around for uh, at least until the end of 2023, just so that people can search for content there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, just to keep it as like a just for strictly for the archives type thing.
Yeah, for the repository of
Yeah,
knowledge,
for
if
sure.
you want, right? And maybe one day we'll see, we'll see. Hey, there's only like 25 people that are really active on it, and then we'll switch off. But
Yeah.
we wanna preserve as much as we can for that before
No,
the
but
transition.
that's a good timeline. You're at least giving it like a year, but
Yeah,
I kind of feel that within that year, a lot of students and graduates are gonna migrate. So
yeah, cool. All right, hey, we are at the end of the hour. Thank you, Drew. It was
yeah.
great to have you here.
Oh, thank you for inviting me, man.
Thank you, everyone, for joining. Great talking to everyone. Remember, early bird ends on Monday to get in onto the backend with Python. If you missed the deadline, don't worry. You can just register still at the early bird rate for the month after. But yeah,
5 weeks later. Yep.
right.
All
All
right,
right, take
Ludo.
care, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Have a great weekend, guys.
See ya.
All right.